So let's jump right into our second segment today. Today we're going to talk about saving receipts can save you thousands of dollars, and we go through this all the time.
And I think that the reason why you and I sat down and decided this is going to be the topic that we were going to highlight is because this year has been really different. I feel like when we have been representing buyers on transactions and also how we're putting houses forward. I feel like there is more of a demand. Like 3 years ago, it was white hot and it didn't matter. I'll waive everything. Just give me the house because I'm getting this crazy rate. And now I feel like the pendulum has gone so far the opposite direction that it is really time to talk to our clients about how important saving things is, because this is what the deal is. I can't remember, that I installed a garage door last month. And I'm definitely going to not know how many horsepower or if there's a warranty. But we're going to go through and talk about why saving even the smallest thing is important.
It's interesting too because I think part of we've done this for a long time where we hound the seller to get those receipts
Right.
because you call it the pedigree,
Yes.
which is exactly what it is, and it really makes a difference in how you represent the property. We've got one right now where we're representing the buyer and the listing agent's somewhat, I hate to say the word misrepresented because that infers there was an intentional thing.
Right.
And I don't think there was.
I would agree with that.
But I think she did say some things that led the buyers to believe one thing. She put some information in MLS that led me to believe the same thing.
Right.
The seller's disclosure statement has verbiage in it that led us both to believe the same thing.
Right.
And had that agent gotten those receipts for that work and looked at those, she probably never would have said that. She probably wouldn't have said that in the open house. She wouldn't have put that in MLS, and she would have caught that on the disclosure statement that the seller was making a little bit different of a claim than what was documented.
And it also would have affected our client's initial offer.
Absolutely.
So these are why we want to talk about these things. So the proof of the resale value. I think that, again, we're going to talk about buyers are coming in and they want to see that the heavy lifting has been done. They don't care that that's the right color of greige or that's the right marble that you've used. They are now wanting to know ages, and it's making a difference.
It is. I think that it also shows a buyer, when they're able to look at those receipts, they're able. It's like when you talk about, when you open somebody's cabinet doors and everything's lined up nicely and the cabinet's all clean and there's lining paper down, and it gives the buyer a feeling about how that seller handles the house. And
there's an indirect correlation between being organized and taking care of maintenance.
Absolutely.
I think that's what we are trying to express both to our sellers and our buyers when we look at homes.
Yep. And it does there is a resale marketing advantage to it, because one of the things that you've always said is that, when you were working in new home sales, is that if you talked about your house having it, and the other salesperson didn't talk about their house having it, in a buyer's mind, your house had it and the other one didn't.
100%.
When they may have been 100%, neutral with each other.
Exactly. And I think that this gives us time to not only talk about what elements you have updated or replaced, but then also the benefits. I think a lot of people just list it and say what it is, but they don't understand why to step one step further and explain, hey, that cast iron that's been replaced, guess what that benefit is? And then they're like, oh, didn't think about that. But you don't have to, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
So also, this really does help us achieve value right now. Value is one of the things that you and I are always focused on. We try to look at pricing as if we were an appraiser, and knowing that the roof, that the HVAC, that the foundation has been cared for, replaced, or is under a year old. These are our things that we then share with when we meet the appraiser on our listings to say, this is how we're coming up with this number. These are the 4 people that made offers on this house above or at list price because it's in this condition.
And one of the things that I think that homeowners need to also kind of keep in mind about keeping this type of information is you really need to start doing it from day one.
Yes.
Because even though, you may be buying what you think is your forever home, and you may be, but somewhere down the line, if you're going in for a refinance and you need that value to show a different value other than what you paid for it, and it hadn't been in MLS for a while, an appraiser's going to kind of struggle sometimes to get to whatever value you might be looking for on it. And that documentation, that's going to be critical.
That is so helpful. And the other thing, even for just as a homeowner yourself, if the sprinkler were to like malfunction and the solenoid go out, or your lawn guy ran over and sliced,
Right.
and you don't have the time, having that documentation all in one location, being able to reach in there and grab that, call the sprinkler company and have them come out. That's excellent. But one step forward, what if it's warranty work? Well, that's another way to have that all taken care of, because when the water heater erupts, you're not thinking clearly. You're kind of in a panic mode. These are also ways for us to be able to share with buyers value when there is warranty that exists, there is transferable. This has been done by a reputable company. This is not somebody that was a storm chaser. These are all things that begin to stack up and create more than just the regular value.
Yeah.
So that's my high horse.
One of the other places that these receipts really come into play is when you've got insurance claims.
Ugh.
You know this better than probably anybody. And, when right after you finished your condo, you hired a photographer, a professional photographer, property photographer, to come out and take pictures of everything. And, you were able to show them, yes, that is the piece I had. Here's the receipt for when I bought that. And, you were able to maximize your claim because of that.
Best $300 I ever spent. Best $300. Then also we're talking about shopping for premiums. We're helping clients right now negotiate some repairs on a roof. And we definitely wanted to get priced out the class 4 shingles, which don't cost that much, but it really does help them get a reduction in their policy premium. And so these are things, having these receipts, again, showing that you've done more above and beyond, I would say, is one of the things that does help a house move off of the market and get top dollar.
Especially if you're getting extended coverages on things like, if you're getting extended coverages on jewelry, or you're getting extended coverages on art, you're limited in what your primary policy is, but the insurance company is happy to issue you the additional policy without proving that you own anything. But when you file a claim, they're going to want you to prove you owned it.
Yes.
So it's critically important from that perspective.
And again, having receipts really does help you eliminate the he said, she said. Again, you kind of started off the show talking about that. And, again, knowing what the receipt says, I think that receipts are your best friend. And therefore, when you get a receipt, if it doesn't clearly explain what was done, you should ask for it to be rewritten.
Yeah.
How many times have you and I said, that receipt doesn't say X, Y, and Z, have it redone?
And it's usually
and they're like, what?
A service person who's out in the field and they're, hand scratching, and that's the receipt that the office ends up sending you. And at the end of the day, it doesn't tell you enough.
It doesn't. And it's not like pulling teeth. They will rewrite it for you without any problem. It's just, you've got to ask.
And, finally, I think one of the important things also is it helps you document your warranties. And not just the warranties for you, but also whatever warranties are transferable to a new homeowner.
I would agree.
And it also, one of the big areas that homeowners buying, so homeowner A has to do foundation work. They hire Joe Smith Foundation Company over here, and they get a lifetime warranty on the work. So when they sell the house, they're offering this lifetime warranty on this work. Well, Joe Smith isn't in business anymore, so you really don't have a lifetime warranty. So you being able to document that keeps you from making false statements out there, because we've had people do it before that have had foundation work and said, oh yeah, I've got a lifetime warranty. Oh great, well let's see the receipts. or they get caught in in one of the requirements for the transfer of the lifetime warranty is you've got to register that new homeowner within 30 days of closing, and you've got to pay $100 for it. And if you don't do those things, that warranty is no longer valid.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you need warranty work, you're kind of stuck.
So if you're going to save your receipts, you're going to win. If you're going to save your permits that have been pulled, that's a great one too.
Absolutely.
Those are so important. Again, we're bringing this to you because we've seen a change in the way that today's buyers are looking at houses. I think that with the introduction of new inspection sciences, for lack of a better term, they're able to really determine when a house needs to have further evaluation. And typically when they have additional evaluations done, things are going to be called out. So this is the quickest way for you to get ahead of that and minimize your exposure.
So I hope you found that helpful. If you would like any suggestions on how to do these or how to store all this, how to put it all together, just reach out. I'll be happy to share with you how I do it. And it really does. I love being able to go back and pull up a receipt from 5 years ago.
Absolutely. And just remember, we want to be your realtors for life.
Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you miss the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. And it's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.